Okay, so the rice is done now. It tasted really good. It's really just kind of a hint of coconut. It's I was expecting like overpowered with coconut, but it's not.
Nope.
So the next thing is the plantain.
That's
So
right.
so as we're dirtying up every pot and pan in the house, and you can see they're stacking up up here. We're doing another pan.
Yes.
So, but it's all good. It's all good.
I told Kenny, I said, look, this is the one meal that you get to use everything in your kitchen.
Right.
So you better have guests so they do all the dishes.
Right. So now we're going to use coconut oil again?
Yes.
Okay.
Always coconut oil just to keep with that flavor.
And every time that she's used coconut oil, she's preheated the pot or pan or skillet in this case.
Absolutely. Yes, we want it nice and hot so that it melts right away. It goes from the white to the clear. Now, if yours is clear, it's just because you don't have AC in the house
Right.
or it's really hot.
Or you live in Belize.
Or you live in Belize, yeah. The first time I actually ever saw it white was at one of my sister Dahlia's, the one I was talking about that likes the burnt. Yeah.
And she lives in Miami.
And her coconut rice is white, and I'm like, what the hell? I was like, what in the how? And because her house is like 60 degrees.
Oh, with the AC.
Oh my God, it's so insane. So I learned that.
There you go.
But yes, so
All right.
kind of like with the stew pork, you want to create a nice layer. So imagine that you're deep frying something,
Okay.
right? So you really want it to coat the whole bottom of the pan.
So now I have to go buy coconut oil.
You most certainly do. You will do. Oh, and then whenever you make the rice and beans, when you combine the leftover rice and beans, you want to add a little bit of coconut oil in that to mix it up.
Ah, okay, cool.
Just so you know. So you
Oh,
do need it.
okay. And we tasted this. The stew is really good.
Awesome.
The rice is good, the beans are good, and now the plantains.
And the veggies are just
the,
right.
the veggies are just right. We now know what just right is.
Like Kenny, I don't have a recipe, so I just cook.
But we're getting the recipe.
That's right.
We're getting there.
All right, so now, like I was telling Kenny earlier, it's really important that you use tongs or a fork to put them in there and take them out, because otherwise you will burn yourself.
Okay.
Okay. You might want to have a lid nearby just in case if it gets too splashy. You can do that. You know, it can turn like bacon sometimes. And so definitely wear clothes when you do it. No.
Oh, actually, on this one, I don't have a regular lid. I got this lid.
That's perfect. Perfect.
So, our
That's
backup
just in
lid
case.
here.
Yep.
I
just
got
in case.
everything in this place. Okay, now are we gonna, when we come off, do we need like paper towels on a platter?
Sure. Yeah, we can do that. That works.
Right, to catch up the grease.
And so now that's warm enough. We're going to test it with just one to see. It wants to fry it. So let's turn up the heat a little bit.
Okay.
And you can see how it's starting to sizzle in there.
Cool.
And then of course it's up to you whether you like thicker cut, thinner cut. The trick is that once it starts to brown on the outside is when it's done.
Okay.
So we're just gonna place them over there. Like I said, I did it with my hand last time, and oh, big mistake.
And this is the same thing that you did with the meat.
Exactly.
Is using the tongs.
Absolutely, yeah.
So now as this cooks, because these were pretty firm,
Yes,
right? So as it cooks, will that get softer?
a little
Or
bit.
is it going to still be crunchy?
A little bit, and so that's why you want the
ones that are black on the outside.
Exactly, because they will become mushier. Unfortunately, the longer you cook them doesn't mean the mushier it's gonna get.
Okay.
What it is just what it's gonna be.
Okay.
So it will be firm, but it will be, now in this case, it's gonna be pretty much firm all throughout.
Right.
But if you get a more ripe one, then it will have
That little mush and
yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
Which you can get with yucca too.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
And oh, it's so delicious. I love it. I love that you love the yucca. That's so cool.
Oh yeah. Well, when I was in Bolivia, it was like you got bowl of rice with a potato, with a piece of yucca. There may be a little bit of carrot in there, and then like a drumstick or a little piece of chicken, and that's what you got as a meal. So it was like 3 starches all together.
Holy.
Yeah.
Well, that's got to do something to your gut.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but it was just plain white rice with the potato, the yucca, and the chicken, and like I said, there may be some carrot slices.
Oh, yummy.
Yeah, it was good.
And now, what took you there?
I went there, I work at a Jesuit university, so I went down and visited an organization, Fe Alegria, which is a Jesuit-run organization, and they run 76 schools in Bolivia.
Oh, wow.
And in the morning it'll be primary, afternoon, secondary, in the evening it'll be technical.
Oh, wow.
So these 475 schools educate 350,000 children.
Oh my gosh.
And they're all in the poorest of the poor areas. Some of them are boarding schools out in the middle of the jungle.
Wow.
So it was really cool. So I spent 9 days down there visiting the different schools, and we go into a school and they put on an assembly and put on a show for us.
Wow.
But we go and visit all these different areas, and they would serve us something to eat
Yes.
at every place. And so every place we went, we got the rice, the potato, everybody the same.
Did you get tired of it?
No.
Okay.
No,
Let me
it's
grab a
great.
fork really quick.
Sure.
That is so crazy. Yeah.
So it was a neat experience.
Gosh, that's so cool. And how long ago was that?
That was 4 or 5 years ago, I guess.
Wow. Okay. And you haven't returned?
No, I have not yet.
Okay.
So you're browning it. You're getting a little brown on the plantain.
Yep. Exactly. And again, it's so tough because it's not quite ripe, right?
Right.
So the blacker the banana, the better.
Now, do they ever
Or
put
the
any
plantain.
sauce on the plantains?
No. What we do, you can put a little bit of sugar if you want, but what I like is salt.
Okay.
We sprinkle a little bit of salt when we're done with it. And so with the coconut oil, it actually gives it a little bit of a flavor as well.
Okay.
So that's why you want to use the
Cool.
coconut oil. Definitely don't do it with like olive oil. I did that once. It was so gross.
Yeah.
It's just really not.
Right.
But that's about the color
and
you
what
want.
we mentioned earlier, like when I did the Tex-Mex rice, I used vegetable oil. So,
Exactly.
so if a recipe, you have to consider whether you can substitute
Absolutely.
that oil.
Absolutely. And I used to habitually cook everything with olive oil. It's just how I cook.
Right.
Everything. It didn't matter what it was, olive oil.
Mm-hmm.
Until I went back to Belize and I discovered like, oh, wait a minute, this is different. And now understanding too that that's why my Spanish rice goes out so crummy. Yeah, it's I've been using the wrong oil. So very good note to have.
Cool.
So see, these little ones actually cook a little bit quicker too, which is great. But that's about as much as you want.
So just lightly brown on each side. And with the coconut oil, it tends to brown quicker, it seems.
Yeah, it does actually. And the riper that the plantain is, it's actually really interesting because it also comes out more caramelized.
Okay.
Which is really neat. And I don't know any Belizean friends out there that can tell me also how to caramelize it because I don't know. If there's any other tricks that you can do when you don't have a ripe banana, please do tell us. Kenny can definitely use
There you go.
Yep. Any of the advice that you guys are willing to give?
So stop confusing everyone. Plantain.
Plantains.
Not banana.
Plantains.
Oh, keep saying banana.
You do.
Whoops.
We
I
have,
do.
We have no bananas today.
We have no bananas tonight. No, sir.
Okay.
Beautiful
Alright.
plantains.
So
There
we've
we
got another batch of this to go.
Voila.
So we'll check in. I guess the next
Yes.
thing is once we finish this, I'll put a little salt on
We
it.
get to eat.
Cool. So we will check in. We'll get this other batch of plantains done.
Yep.
And then we'll serve everything up and have our special cocktail.
Awesome.
Cool.
We'll see you guys soon.
All right. So